if your team's not going to make it into the playoffs, you don't just want to stop watching baseball. Like, that's ridiculous. And it's also taken for granted. Like, we know that you're not just going to stop. So what do you do? That's the question we ask every year. If your team does not make it into the playoffs, what do you do? If your team is eliminated, what do you do? Who do you root for? Primarily, we all want to see really great baseball. Super duh. But it helps to pick a team. So that's what we're going to help you do today. We're going to help you pick a team. And we've got a whole list of teams who already are not going to make the playoffs. So we apologize if this is you, but we're here to help. All right. Brad, should we take this by division or should we just scattershot this? American League and National League separate.
Let's just scattershot it. American League first.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. I like it. That's what I was thinking. If you were the Blue Jays, who are you going to team shop for?
If I'm the Blue Jays, honestly, I'm probably going to cheer for the Royals.
Oh. Reasons?
A big reason is because you already have the blue, right?
You already have the blue.
So you can get
And
away
the
with
powder.
wearing your regular stuff and still be like, yeah, go Royals. Maybe just turn it inside out if you want. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Flip the hat around. You're good to go. None will be the wiser.
No, of course not. Not everybody in front of you. Yeah.
yeah. Anybody looking head on is gonna have no idea what's going on. But also though, like, I don't know. I don't want to say these two teams feel similar, but it's almost like they don't have success at the same time, like ever.
Yeah.
If the Royals
I
are
think
good, the Blue Jays are bad.
interesting.
The Blue Jays are good, the Royals are bad.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of safe. You never have to compete too much.
Yeah, and you're not in the division because that's one big thing with me is that you cannot cheer for a division rival at all.
Well, I think that's mostly true. I don't think it's always true.
Brig, I told I was taking my son's friend home after having him at the house the other day, right? And his friend was wearing a Cardinals jersey, and my son was wearing a Seahawks jersey. And he's like, he leaned over, he's like, Wilson, you should be a Cardinals fan. He's like, my dad would kill me. I was like, yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't cheer for division rivals in this house, son.
Super duh. Yeah. That's funny. For me, if you're a Blue Jays fan, you're going to be rooting for Cleveland's baseball club this year, both for a lot of reasons. One, because they're very good, but two, because you both hate New York. So if you're going to hate the Yankees, a great team to cheer for this season is going to be Cleveland.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not sure they're going to face each other. It would take the ALCS would probably be the first opportunity for them to cheer for each other or to face each other, rather, Cleveland and New York. But if they did, and you're a Blue Jays fan, you're obviously going to want to be cheering for Cleveland.
Makes sense. All right, who we got next?
Next, let's do the White Sox. Who are you going to cheer for if you're a White Sox fan?
The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Because you can't cheer for the Bears.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta wait for the NB season to come around. Yeah, because you're not gonna cheer for let's face it. Who are you not gonna cheer for? You're not gonna cheer for the Twins, you're not gonna cheer for the Royals, you're not gonna cheer for Cleveland's baseball club, right?
Nope, probably not.
You're probably not gonna cheer for Houston because you got some of their cast offs in the offseason. That's part of the reason you ended up in the mess that you're in.
Correct.
Nobody's gonna cheer for the Yankees.
They're never gonna do that.
Maybe the Orioles. Or jump over to the National League.
Yeah.
And how about this? White Sox cheer for the Diamondbacks. Because the Diamondbacks were partially responsible for the Cubs missing the playoffs last year.
Okay.
So you like that connection? I think that's really the only option because you don't want to cheer for the Phillies. You don't want to cheer for the Dodgers. I don't think as a White Sox fan you're going to go cheer for the top tier like elite teams. You got to stay kind of in the middle. You can't jump. Can't jump too high.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I will say though, in line with cheering for the middle. I think you take the next 2 weeks. Just take the next guys, listen. Just the next 2 weeks. That's all I'm asking. You cheer for the Cubbies for the next 2 weeks. That's it. Okay?
I think that's
Shut
illegal
up.
on the south side of town,
It
though, Brig.
is, but here's why. Here's why. You do it in secret. You don't tell anybody you're doing it, okay? You do it in your basement
Close the
where
blinds.
nobody can see you. Yeah. And because you need some kind of jinx. And I think this will jinx the White Sox organization into big changes. Just because you don't need to actually go out in force doing this, but you got to put it in the air superstitiously. So keep it safe, keep it secret, but cheer for the Cubs for the next 2 weeks. It'll put it out in the universe. I'm telling you.
And they'll miss.
That's how you take control.
I love it. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
All
Who else
right.
do we have? Who do we have
The
next?
A's. If you're an A's fan, who are you going to root for?
Ooh. Oof. That's so hard.
Yeah.
As an A's fan, it's tough because, so where have A's players gone the most? Right?
Her place.
So it's maybe you cheer for the Braves. Maybe that's what it is. You cheer for the Braves.
Maybe.
You got Matt Olson. You got Sean Murphy, former A's players
Solid.
who are in playoff contention. That's who it is. You cheer for the Braves. Cheer for your former guys.
I think you have two choices. If you want to cheer for the Dodgers, you could because they're natural Giants haters, right along with you. That totally makes sense. Or you could cheer for the Mets because you both have inferiority complexes, and that'll work. Just
That's a
as
good
an
one.
option. You don't have to
I
do it
like
that
it.
way. Just kidding. You don't even have
That
to
makes
call
so
it
much
that.
sense.
That's why, though. Okay. All right. If you're the Rangers, who are you cheering for? The Rangers.
The Rangers. If I'm the Rangers, um, I'm cheering for the Mets.
Okay. Why? Ooh, why?
Um, Actually, no. That's backwards. No, I wouldn't cheer for the Mets because if the Mets did well, then they're not going to send more good players to the Rangers. So not the Mets.
Yeah.
Um,
Very good.
I think I think it's got to be like the Yankees though, as the Rangers, because if there's anybody that's going to beat the Astros in the playoffs, it's going to be the Yankees. I
Yep.
don't know that anybody else can do it.
That was my vote as well. The only other choice I can think of is Baltimore. There's some trade history there, but I think you got to go for the Yankees because anybody who can beat Houston,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
they're
because
going to see each other.
I don't know that the Orioles can with the way they're playing right now. They're kind of limping into the playoffs.
Well, yeah, and then there's maybe the Royals, but I don't see that happening. Cleveland, the way the standings look right now, Cleveland has a better chance of facing them first. So you could cheer for Cleveland for that reason too. But I would wait to see how the bracket lines up and then pick who's going to beat the Astros. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
Yeah, baby. Okay. If the Mariners don't make playoffs, Brad, who are the Mariners fans going to root for?
the Royals.
And
I think it goes back to the blue again, partially, but also because it's a team that over the last several years. I mean, I know the Royals have their World Series, right? From
yep,
what was that, like 2015,
15.
I
Yep.
think. So they have their World Series, but typically the Royals over the last 20 years have not been very good.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's
And
been quite a long time of that.
it's kind of been the Mariners and Royals that have been like the punching bags of the American League a
Hmm.
lot of the time over the last couple decades. Yeah, so the Royals have two playoff appearances. 2014, they won the World Series in 2015. Other than that, though, like the last time they made the playoffs before that was when they won the World Series in '85.
Right.
So I think as a Mariners fan, you look at the Royals and say, hey, this is a team that is typically not very good, but they've made it and this is where they are. And you look at that
Yeah.
team and that kind of gives you hope as a Mariners fan.
Okay. Okay. I like that take a lot, actually. That's not the direction I went. I was thinking you could cheer for the Mets if they make it as an underdog, sort of hopeful for a very similar reason, or if the Braves continue to hang in there because you want to see Jared Kelenic do well.
No,
That's
you
why.
don't. No, Mariners fans don't want to see him do well. No, they don't. He talked so much trash on his way to town. Mariners fans are over him.
Oh, that's
No, if
true.
there's another team, though, I would say the Diamondbacks because you've got Geno Suarez, Paul Sewald, and
Paul
Ketel Marte.
Sewald. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Sewald and Geno were fan favorites.
Okay.
No, they're not
All right.
cheering for Kelnick to succeed in the playoffs. No.
All right. What about the Twins? Let's say that the Twins don't make it
Ooh.
in, even though right now they appear to have it locked in that third wild card slot. But who, if they don't make it in, who you want to root for as a Twins fan?
Hmm. You gonna cheer for him as a Twins fan?
Yeah,
That's tough.
it is tough.
You got a couple teams in your division that are there. Don't want to cheer for the Yankees or Astros. Don't want to cheer for the Orioles, probably. I'm going to go over the National League and look at nobody from the Central is there to help, but I guess that you wouldn't cheer for them anyway.
Probably not.
Man alive, that's a tough one.
It
Let's
is
see the
tough.
Phillies. Probably the Phillies.
You think so?
Yeah, and I don't really know why. That's the one team that I land on, though, that makes the most sense at all. Makes any sense to me.
Okay.
What do you think?
See, I'd give it if you want to hate on the Yankees, you go with Cleveland. And then the
division rival,
Royals,
though.
I know, but the Royals have always been friendly rivals. Like they have a rivalry, but not really. Like they all love each other. All the fans are cool with each other. It's totally fine. I'm
That
going with
Midwestern non-rivalry.
yeah, they're just like, "Hey man, it's fine." Even though they're all in the division, like I've just broken your cardinal rule twice, but
Yeah, you did.
if you wanted to hop over to the National League just to avoid the division rivalry thing, then I go with San Diego. That's who I say they root for. They're both kind of in that middle market
Yeah,
thing, and when they're good, they're good, and when they're not, they are forgot. So
you're right. That is
that's
true.
I think. So I think now that I've talked myself in and out of it, it's definitely going to have to be the Padres.
Okay. Love it.
Okay, couple last ones for the American League. If you're the Tigers, who you got? Who you going to root for as a Tigers fan?
As a Tigers fan,
There's still time as a Tigers fan as of this moment.
right, because they're playing really well right now.
They are. But if you don't make it, what do you do?
Hmm.
Or first round exit, let's say. Whatever happens.
Honestly, at that point, I might just go cheer for the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions are
Yeah.
good.
I know.
Just kind of be like, you know what? We don't need you guys.
It's all good. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we missed it, and
We're
we fought hard at the end. Played well at the
we're
beginning, played
rebuilding.
well at the end. Look forward to
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. That'll absolutely work. But if you still want to be uh rooting for a team, I say you pick the Mets because you're both orange, and that works.
There you go.
But I think your answer is better than mine.
Slightly different shades of blue, but yeah, got the orange in there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the National League. Well, the Angels. We
Okay.
forgot the Angels. If you're an Angels fan, ask Mel who's she rooting for if they don't make it in
She
because they
doesn't
won't.
care. She's not cheering.
So she's just like all the rest of the Angels fans. Okay, great.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fabulous.
You
They're
know, I
rooting for
heard
Mike Trout's physical therapist.
yes, they are. You know, I heard somebody call the Angels the Lame Jolls the other day.
Ooh. Oh, that.
It was an Angels fan too, by the way. So
Oh, good. Okay, because that stung me, and I'm not even an Angels fan. That burn swept through the hills. Is it too soon? Can I not make that joke? Okay.
I don't know. Might
I
be.
do think if
Anyway,
you're an Angels fan, you bag the American League all the way together, and you just pick a National League team. That's what I would do.
if I was going to pick a National League team though, as an Angels fan, I'd probably pick the Padres
Yeah, I was going to say that.
because they
Yeah,
can
me
beat the
too.
Dodgers.
Yep. Yep, I think
Yep.
so. Okay, moving over to the National League. This one's easy for me. If you're the Marlins, I think you're going to root for the Yankees, and you're going to do that because of Jazz. You want Jazz
Jazz.
to do
Yeah,
well. You're still excited about Jazz. You have a right to be excited about Jazz. You cheer for the Yankees.
I agree. And the Padres
Yeah,
because of Luis
Luis
Ariz.
Ariz. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. One's just, a little more fresh. That's the only
Yeah.
difference. If you're the Nats, Brad, who are you going to root for? If you're the Nats,
From the
if you're a Nats
Nats.
fan.
Um, Probably the Yankees because of the similarity in names, somewhat. Right? A little
Okay,
bit.
be careful, but tell me what you're saying.
So I feel like with the Nationals, it's like it has like a sense of like national pride, right? And with the Yankees, that was like somebody from the north, and you're also they're from that area. That's the it to me. It feels like the closest names in baseball as far as like what they're describing,
Okay,
right?
I
That might be
guess.
a
Yeah.
stretch, but that's why.
You're- yeah. The first baseman never stretch that far, Brad. They never have to. So
I know.
okay. All right. Fine. Here's if I'm the Nats, I'm not. I'm out.
You're just
just
out
gonna
on it.
wait. Yeah. I mean, they've
Gonna
traded
wait and
away
cheer
all
for
the
the
people
Wizards.
I was very excited about, and I think once they got rid of Candelario, I was like, all right, okay, whatever. You guys
So
are gonna
this
do
is
whatever you're gonna do.
I will say this: if I'm a Nats fan, I'm cheering for 2025.
Yeah, yeah. It's
There's a
because
lot of
that's.
talent in place for 2025.
I agree. I agree. But it's hard to lose 80 games and still be excited. Just is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say the Mets don't make it to the playoffs, which is very possible still. But
Mhm.
if the Mets don't make it to the playoffs, then what are you going to do as a Mets fan?
Gonna cheer for the Astros.
What?
Blue and orange, baby.
Ugh,
And they're gonna take out the Yankees. They're gonna be the team that's gonna down the Yankees.
that's true.
Because I don't think Cleveland can. The Yankees have their warts. We talked about them, but
For
so does
sure.
Cleveland. Cleveland
For
has their
sure.
warts too. The
Yeah.
Orioles are not playing well. They're like I said, they're limping into the playoffs. They're not going to
Yeah.
beat the Yankees. The team that's going to beat the Yankees is going to be the Astros.
For sure. If somebody's going to do it, it's going to have to be.
Yeah, yeah. So
Don't
that's
say it
why
like
if
it's
I'm,
already a foregone conclusion, Brad. You're going to hurt my feelings. I don't have to put
well,
up
I
with this abuse.
apologize.
Okay.
What
I
about
think
you?
you're
Well,
right, though.
if you're a Mets,
I think if you're a
yeah,
Mets fan, you cheer for anybody who's going to take down Big Brother. That's what I think you're going to do.
yeah,
For sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Braves. Totally possible they make it in. Totally possible they don't. It's either going to
Right.
be the Mets or the Braves at this point for that last wild card spot. If you're a
Uh-huh.
Braves fan, I say you root for Milwaukee. And the reason you root for Milwaukee is because they're up and coming, kind of under the radar underdogs. And so that's exciting in and of itself. But you also have a shared history in Milwaukee with the different franchises. And so I think that's where you go. You rest on that.
The second part is why I would have said Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Is because they have a shared history.
Yep. For
Because
sure.
the Braves were there at one point.
They were.
So yeah, I'd actually just land with that. That's where I'd stick.
Yep. Yeah. Um, if you're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, Brad, what are you thinking?
Pittsburgh Pirates fan.
This
Ooh,
one's hard. This one's really
this
hard.
is really hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, down the stretch, going into the postseason. Um, I think you cheer for either probably the I think you cheer for the Mariners. Honestly, I think as a Pirates fan, you cheer for the Mariners to make it in because those teams are built
Okay.
very similarly. Really, really
Okay.
good starting rotation.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
really good. Great. Right?
For sure. Yeah.
Major struggles offensively. Granted, the Mariners have been very good offensively. In fact, let me pull this up for you real quick, Rick.
For a little while now.
For just like a short stretch of time. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like 11 games. They're eight. They're 8-3 in the last 11, and they're first in like almost every offensive category during that time.
Yeah.
First or second
until tomorrow or today if you're listening on Tuesday. Sorry,
It's
Charlie.
the City Connect Magic Brig. It's gonna take it over. But anyway, no, I think if you're a Pirates fan, you cheer for the Mariners to get in because you're looking at the way these teams are put together. It's basically the same thing. You're watching a mirror image of your team.
That's awesome. Well, and to go back on your naming convention, they're both.
There you go.
They're both
seafaring,
nautical. Yeah.
Yeah. Seafaring folk.
Okay, if you're a Reds fan, you need to be cheering for Cleveland. Same state, no hate.
Same state, no hate. I feel like there is some there though.
There's not.
There's not?
There's not. Not this postseason. There's no reason to be this postseason. And I don't think there has been like historically ever, because until interleague play started, it didn't matter as much. So it's only starting to matter as of the last couple of years with the balanced schedule. I don't think it's that big a deal. I think that you cheer for Cleveland because at the end of it, you're all Buckeyes anyway.
Yeah, you have the Ohio Cup that they play for every year.
Mm-hmm.
That is the name of it that they play for.
Okay.
But I think that honestly, if I'm a Reds fan,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would go with Brig. Oof. Who? Trying to think of a guy who was recently playing for the Reds and is now elsewhere, but I can't think of anybody besides Joey Votto, and he's retired.
Right. Yeah, but and you can't root for the Blue Jays anyway
Yeah.
because they're not in it. So
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So maybe you're right with Cleveland because I
I
can't
think
think.
it's got
I
to be
literally
Cleveland.
cannot think of anybody else. Maybe the Phillies because they're both red, but it's a different color red, and they have blue.
Nah. It's got to be Cleveland,
So
man. It's
it's got
got
to
to
be
be.
Cleveland. You're right. In-state. Oh, that's so hard though. In-state rivals.
In-state, no hate, bro. They don't. I don't think they hate each other. Baseball family, if we're totally off base, you let us know. But I'm pretty sure it's not a big deal. Now, the fans of each franchise might annoy one another. That's totally different than
Okay, how about
being
this? I pulled
regular
this up on
rival.
Reddit just now. It's a Guardians subreddit. It says, "Do you guys hate the Reds at all?" And the first person says, "I have no hatred towards the Reds. Fun team, cool history of players, never had any animosity." That is a very small sample size, but
one of one. That's batting 1,000.
yeah, exactly right. But no, I
Baseball
actively
not.
root for them in the NL. Personally, I never think about the Reds. I think it's total indifference for me. I don't think I love the Reds. They're inconsequential to my existence.
See, no hate, not one
No
hated
hate.
hatred.
You're right. Not one hateful
No
comment.
state, no hate.
Very good. I love it. All right.
I'm telling you. Hey,
Cheer for Cleveland's baseball club.
all right. If you're the Rockies, I say you root for the D-backs. And I say you root for the D-backs because of regional affiliation and small market. Also, I have nothing else to say. I couldn't think of another team that was better suited, and I couldn't think of another team that had more justification than just, well, somebody's got to beat the Dodgers, and I know we're in the same division.
So if I'm a Rockies fan, I'm gonna go cheer for the Phillies for no other reason than just once in your life, just be a front runner. Just cheer for a winner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that makes
You
sense.
can't cheer for the
I could see
Dodgers
that.
because they're in the division. Just
Yeah,
go
you
cheer for the
can't.
Phillies. Best record in baseball. You
Yeah,
can't go wrong.
that's awesome. I still think you cheer for Arizona just because I wanted to watch Brad's face crinkle up like it did. It was
Yeah, you
wonderful.
did.
You were like, ah. Okay, if you're a Cards fan, let's bounce up to the Central one more time. If you're a Cards fan, okay, I know Kansas City fans hate the Cardinals, but it only goes one way. I don't think Cardinals fans hate Kansas City.
I think it's the same thing we just read about. Is that they're inconsequential. They don't even think about them.
Yep,
As far
but
as
I
that goes.
think Cardinals fans are um they're level-headed, they're intelligent, they're, you know, I think they're able to see what the Royals are doing right now and for why they're doing it. But that didn't make any sense. But you know what I mean. I think they're savvy enough, baseball fans, to say, okay, this is pretty cool what we're watching with Kansas City, and they're not far away. And let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Baltimore. If
Mm,
you're a Cardinals fan, cheer for the other bird. Cheer for the
there you
Orioles.
go. Yeah. Cheer for the other bird. I
Just
love
go
it.
do it.
Just go do it. What do you care?
The only other bird in the playoffs right now. Go cheer for them. Because you don't have to change your cheering. Just say, go birds. Go birds. That's all you have to say.
True. True. Okay. What about the Cubbies, bro? If you're a Cubs fan, what are you going to do?
You're going to jump over to the American League, first off, is what you're going to do.
Yeah,
Because
you
as a
have
Cubs
to.
fan, you probably hate everybody in the National League at this point.
I was going to say, yeah.
So you're gonna jump over there and you're gonna cheer for a team, not a team that has any kind of tradition of winning. So you're not cheering for the Yankees, you're not cheering for the Astros. You're gonna cheer for a team that you have that if they win the World Series this year, it is inconsequential for you because you broke your slump. You ended your drought. So you're gonna
Mm.
cheer for another team to end its drought. You're gonna cheer for Cleveland's baseball club.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Did I?
The slump breakers.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. But I think on the way to that, you're rooting for the Red Sox to get in.
To
I
make
think
it.
you're keeping your eye on either.
Is that specifically because of their history with the Epstein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But then after that, it's Cleveland all the way. I agree.
The Red Sox are 4.5 back, though. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either, but there has been talk and there is evidence. So just you wait, Henry Higgins. You think the
Just
Mariners get in before should another team take into the wild card, like bust into the wild card? Do you think it's the Mariners before the Red Sox?
yes,
Okay. All right. I
they're playing
disagree.
better. It all comes down to how they're playing right now.
Yeah.
The Mariners are playing better right now, and probably
Hmm.
have a more favorable schedule too. To be honest,
Well, and the Twins are not. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They've won one in a row, and their run differential is under both Detroit and Seattle. So
by a
for
skosh.
interesting. Yeah, one run for Detroit, but 20 runs for Seattle. So
Yeah.
or 20 or so. Okay, back to this. If you're a Giants fan, um,
Okay.
you're gonna want anybody who can beat the Dodgers. So at
Philly.
this point, it's gonna be Philly. Yep.
Yeah.
And but while you're waiting for the Philly season to pick back up in the NLDS, I think you're gonna pick um either the Mets or the Brewers because they're going to face them first.
Mm.
So
So you're picking whoever's playing the Dodgers.
whoever's playing the Dodgers,
Is what it
yep.
comes
So the
down to.
Mets and the Brewers, as it stands right this minute, would face each other first in the wild card, and then one of those teams is going to end up facing the Dodgers in
Mm.
the division series. So I think you're rooting for anybody who could possibly beat the Brewers. Doesn't matter how.
Beat the Dodgers. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's what it comes down. Yeah, you just cheer for whoever's playing the Dodgers. I like it.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
Now, if you are a D-backs fan and they don't make it in, right?
Ooh, that'd
Let's
be
say
brutal.
that would be so bad. But let's say the Mets and the Braves find a way to overtake them and they just totally fall off, which is still mathematically possible.
Right.
Let's hope it doesn't happen, but it is mathematically possible. Who are you going to end up rooting for if you're a Diamondbacks fan and you guys somehow slip out of this?
I think it's the same thing. You cheer for whoever's playing against the Dodgers because that's all you care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Tired of Dodgers fans coming out and calling Chase Field LA West or LA East. Sorry,
LA East.
get my
Yeah, exactly.
directions right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what
That's
it is.
how I feel. Yeah. Yeah. And I think if you're going to pick, an American League team just for the sake of continuing to watch baseball, you pick Baltimore. I think that they've been
I so yeah. Honestly, I'm shocked I didn't go with Baltimore more often on this whole
yeah,
thing because I mean, I think a lot of people are cheering for them. They've been so bad for so long that they've
Yeah,
really struggled through a lot of years, and the fans have stayed loyal, everything, and I think they deserve it. And I think that, but it's the same thing with the Royals. They've suffered for a long time.
exactly.
Now
Yeah,
they have a team that's legit. They have a guy who is going to contend. He's going to finish top 3 in the MVP voting. Same thing with the
totally.
Orioles,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
the Orioles have Gunnar Henderson, who was looking like he was going to run away with the MVP at the beginning of the year, and then you got Colton Cowser, who is going to be a top 3 Rookie of the Year finisher. Like,
100%. Yeah,
plenty of reason to cheer for those guys if you like up and coming players.
I agree. Baseball family, let us know what you think. Are we way off base here? Who are you going to root for if your team slides out of the playoffs or have already been mathematically eliminated? We want to know. We want to know how you feel because we talk about it on this whole episode. So clearly we care, which we do. He says, exuding casual indifference that he does not feel.
Yes,
Really
he
do
doesn't
care.
have to worry about it.
Really, yeah. Yeah, I do worry about it though. I am
I will
terrified of it.
say, Brig, though, that I didn't feel nervous at all about my 6 pie in the face bet with the Mariners until this weekend.
Yeah,
Up
yeah,
until this weekend, I was like, no chance. Don't have to worry about
yeah.
it.
Don't worry
But
about
after this weekend, I was like, there might be a chance I need to buy a couple cans of whipped cream.
it. Yeah. I have never felt less confident than when Garrett Cole uh had to play a day game this last week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was feeling okay, you know. I was
Mhm.
feeling okay. Um the Red Sox come into town, it's always interesting. Things go
Throw out the
sideways all
records,
the time.
right?
Huh?
Throw out the records of those 2 teams, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's totally unique and they stand alone, but yeah, I think that they not only do they have their warts, I think even though Aaron Judge has broken his home run slump of like 700 years without one, I think we're okay on that one. But I've never been more nervous about the way this is going in my life.
Did you see that he hadn't homered since his appearance on Paw Patrol?
Yeah,
Like the Paw Patrol slump. That's what you can refer to it
that's
as
what they're calling it. Yeah,
forever.
that's
Yeah, the
exactly
Paw
what
Patrol
we're
slump.
calling it. Yeah, nobody will ever do it again.
No chance. They are like, nope,
Mm-mm.
that is worse than the Madden Jinx because you go
Yeah,
homerless.
yeah. We all thought it was cool, and now we're all totally against it. I'll never watch Paw Patrol again in my life. Don't care. I'm gonna have a grandbaby one time, and they're gonna be like, "Can we watch Paw Patrol?" I'll be like, "No," and I'll have all
Not
this
allowed at this
PTSD.
house.
It's not gonna be good.
30 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. You take it back. You know, 2 things are not allowed in my house: Paw Patrol and slime. That's it. You can't have those things. Everything else is okay.
so so my daughter actually like loves Paw Patrol, so we turn it on every once in a while. And there's one episode
Yeah,
where they do a hot air balloon race, and one of my
yeah,
favorite lines, the mayor Mayor Humdinger, by the way, fantastic
right.
name. He
Yeah.
says, "Oh, looks like they got that dusty old bag in the air, and the balloon's flying too." My favorite Paw Patrol joke
That's so
ever.
awesome.